I want to show something amazing, a new indicator that gives you a dashboard related to market structure and price action concepts. It is an all-in-one indicator combining order block, fair value gap, liquidity sweep, volume analysis, volatility analysis, swing high and swing low, market structure labels, and many more concepts. And the excellent feature is that all these concepts can be displayed independently in up to 7 different time frames, and everything is shown here in this dashboard. This is the best indicator I've ever seen on TradingView. I will completely explain this indicator and how you can use it, so make sure you watch this video until the end and let's get started. Before I add the indicator, if you like my contents, please support the channel by liking the video and subscribing to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Alright, on TradingView platform, here we click on indicators and we search market structure dashboard, this one, which is written by Flux chart. Alright, as you can see, a dashboard is added to our chart here. There are lots of information here, but don't worry, I will completely explain everything. This dashboard provides some information related to market structure and price action concepts, and it has the ability to show them independently for different time frames. By default, no level or information is shown on the chart, and everything is only here in the dashboard. I will explain each of these information, and for the available ones, I will turn them on in the settings so they will be overlaid on the price chart and you better understand them. Before I start explaining, I'm proud to announce that I have published a book, The Art of Price Action Trading, which is a complete guide to price action analysis. The link is in the description and you can get it later if you want to master price action trading. Alright, let's begin from here. This column is related to different time frames. At the moment, you can see that we have information for 4 hours time frame, for daily time frame, and for weekly time frame. If we go to the settings of the indicator, here you can see that we have settings related to time frames. You can have up to 7 different time frames, and you can set, if for example you use 3 time frames in your trading strategy, you can remove the other ones and adjust time frames based on your trading strategy. In front of each time frame, there is also weight of the time frame for trend calculation. Higher time frames by default have more weight and lower time frames less weight. This is logical, and in case if you want to change them, you need to consider this fact that the higher the time frame, the more reliable the trends, so they should have higher weight in trend calculation. At the moment, we are on 4 hours time frame. So here we have information for 4 hours time frame, daily and weekly, which is what is set by default. If, for example, we go to 1 minute time frame, you can see that we have information for 7 time frames that are set in the settings. So depending on your trading strategy and the time frames that you need, you can have your required time frames here. Here in this part, in these columns, we have information about recent swing highs and swing lows on the chart. If we go to the settings of the indicator and if we scroll down, here we have settings for visual overlays, and here we can turn on swing labels, so higher highs, higher lows, and lower highs and lower lows are shown on the price chart for the recent swings of the price. And as you know, they are used for identifying the structure of the market. Here in this column, they are shown for different time frames. For example, on 4 hours time frame, it's a bullish market structure. On daily time frame, similarly bullish market structure, and weekly time frame, also bullish market structure. The identified patterns of higher highs and higher lows are also shown here, as you can see. Here in this column, it shows information about price position inside the recent swings of the price. So regarding the last swings of the price, it tells us what is the current position of the price. For example, for 4 hours time frame, at the moment the price is in mid-range. Similar position on daily time frame, and on weekly time frame, it says that we had liquidity sweep. When you hover on each of these information, the indicator gives a small explanation, and here it says that the price swept swing high and reclaimed on weekly time frame. If we go to weekly time frame, we can see that yes, the price swept the liquidity and turned back down. So here we had liquidity sweep, and the indicator is also correctly telling us about this liquidity sweep on weekly time frame. All right, let's get back to 4 hours time frame and let me explain the other columns. Here we have information about order block. If we go to the settings of the indicator and if we scroll down, here we can turn on order blocks, so they will be shown on the price chart. We can also turn on the labels, so they will also have labels. These green zones are bullish order block, and this red zone here is a bearish order block. In case if it is your first time hearing about order blocks, order block is a price range that institutional traders, banks, hedge funds, investment companies, or other large financial entities, they entered or exited the market with very large capital. If I want to say it in a very simple word, order blocks are price ranges where relatively large amounts of orders are executed. These large amounts of orders in a price range create considerable imbalance between supply and demand, and this imbalance between supply and demand causes considerable price movement after them. Order blocks can act as a very powerful support or resistance level for the future price action. A bullish order block can act as a support level, and a bearish order block can act as a resistance level. So we can consider them in our trading strategy for trade entry, stop loss, and profit target. Here in the dashboard, the indicator gives us information about order blocks on different time frames, and it tells us the position of the price to the nearest order block. For example, at the moment, on 4 hours time frame, the nearest order block is bullish. Similarly, on daily time frame, the nearest order block is bullish. But on weekly time frame, it says that the price is currently inside bearish order block. If we change the time frame to weekly time frame, we can clearly see that the price is inside the identified bearish order block. Alright, let's get back to 4 hours time frame and let me explain the next column, fair value gap. If we go to the settings of the indicator and if we scroll down, here we have an option for fair value gaps. We can turn it on, so they will be shown on the price chart. We can turn off order blocks, and we also turn on the labels, so we will have labels for the identified fair value gaps. All right, these are fair value gaps. These green zones are bullish fair value gap, and this red zone is a bearish fair value gap. The pattern includes 3 candles where there is no overlap between the shadows of first and third candle. The gap between the shadows is called fair value gap, and this can show imbalance between supply and demand in a shorter term perspective, and they are usually used for pullback strategies, especially after breakout. Here in the dashboard, the position of the price to the nearest fair value gap is shown. For example, on 4 hours time frame, the nearest fair value gap is bearish, and on daily time frame, the price is currently inside a bullish fair value gap, and on weekly time frame, the nearest fair value gap is bullish. Alright, in this column, we have information regarding an exponential moving average with length of 9. By default, the EMA length is set at 9, but you can change it in the settings if you need higher length, for example, in your trading strategy. And again, here, it shows the position of the price regarding the EMA with length of 9 on different time frames. Alright, we're done with the upper part of the dashboard, which was for different time frames. And now let me explain this part, which is for the current time frame. Alright, here we have information about volume. You can see that it says that the volume is very low, and more explanation here that the volume is currently at 23% of the average. This information is good for volume analysis. For example, here you can see that the price is in a very tight consolidation period and the volume is very low, and this gives the probability that a breakout can happen soon. Alright, here we have information about the position of the price regarding the last swing of the price, which is in mid-range. Actually, we had this information also here for 4 hours time frame, which is our current time frame. And here it is giving us information about the volatility of the market, which is low at the moment. It is not surprising since the price is in a tight consolidation period with very low amount of volume, and this further confirms the probability of having a breakout. Here in this part of the dashboard, we have some information about the market context. For example, the current session, kill zone, which is related to ICT SMC method of trading. And here we have trend bias, which gives us information about the major trend based on higher time frame analysis. In the settings of the indicator, there are some other concepts or features that you can turn them on if you need those features and concepts in your trading strategy. This indicator, by providing a multi-time frame dashboard, it can help you to effectively analyze the market and have your required information all in one in a single dashboard on your price chart. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and leave a comment for me. I'll answer your questions as soon as possible. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you get the notifications of my new videos. See you guys in next video and good luck with your trading.